Sports have always been a part of human history. The earliest sports and competitions likely came from activities that are based around hunting or fighting, activities like running, wrestling, and throwing. As time's arrow marches forward, sports have evolved along with us as ways to train, settle arguments, or just to pass the time. From around the globe, there are countless different sports that use every kind of equipment, play of field, and set of rules. The first ever recorded Olympic Games was literally a religious festival in Greece in the year 776 BCE. Today, the Olympics is one of the largest sporting events where hundreds of countries come together in the name of friendly competition. But there is certainly a large number of sports tournaments and professional and recreational leagues where billions of people watch and athletes compete at international, national, and regional levels, whether for fame, money, or fun. Sports has certainly become the cornerstone of the world's many societies and their cultures. Since the arrival of the digital age, a new era of electronic sports have been growing, and growing steadily since 2016. It probably won't outright replace traditional sports, but eSports will soon stand among them in terms of viewership among the general public and athleticism from the athletes. There are some that say eSports are not real sports. I will probably say that no matter how skilled an eSport player is, they are not a real athlete. With respect, those people are wrong. The most agreed upon definition of sport is, it's an athletic activity that requires physical prowess or skill. If you take a look at eSport athletes, you see them sitting in flashy-looking computer chairs, hand on a mouse frantically swiping in all directions, and the other hand furiously mashing at the corner of the keyboard. Similar to sports like shooting and archery, where there isn't a lot of physical movement compared to sports that involve running around, there is a lot more that goes on besides what we can overtly see. Not only are there movements not just random button mashing, but for all professional athletes, it's a very practiced skill. A hockey player practices their wrist shot, an archer practices their technique, and a pro esports athlete practices playing their game. In 2016, it was reported by Dutch Well that the German Sport University in Cologne had conducted a study to find out what a professional esport athlete experiences when playing a match. Findings included that esport athletes achieve up to 400 movements on the keyboard and mouse per minute, 4 times as much as the average person. That is, for every minute, the player hits a key, moves a mouse, and clicks collectively 400 times. A term for this measurement is actions per minute, or APM. There are simple tests just a Google search away that can help you get an idea of how fast your APM is. But also to demonstrate just how much physical coordination is needed to be a professional athlete in a game like Overwatch, here is a program that is designed to train muscle memory for aiming your cursor precisely at moving targets. The best of the best athletes are able to keep up with this red dot. But this is just a simple exercise to help develop the physical skill. During the match, they are aiming, working the keyboard to move, communicating with their teammates, tactically coordinating to the mechanics of the game, and responding to their opponents, in any combination or potentially all at the same time. This is made even more stressful when played in front of a stadium filled with people. So stressful that the athletes experience high pulse rates as high as 160 to 180 beats per minute, which is comparable to running a marathon. The average retirement age is rather young, not much higher than 25 years old. This is primarily due to the unique physical toll gaming takes on the body, the high-stress environment of the match, and more importantly, unhealthy exercise and diet habits, all of which was never really addressed in pro leagues until last year. As investors are wanting to get the best performance out of their players, eSport athletes are being offered the same training resources that are not unlike traditional sports athletes. It was reported by Mandis Kabesh from Quartz that athletes from Complexity Gaming, which is an American professional esports organization, has their athletes working out in the same facility as the National Football League team, Dallas Cowboys. Just like the Cowboys, Complexity has physiotherapists to help with strains and injuries, personal trainers that help them with physical fitness and nutrition, and like the NFL team, they're receiving training from performance coaches to help them handle high stress of playing in front of a crowded stadium. Most esport athletes spend around 12 hours a day practicing and honing their physical skills for their game. But more professional esports teams are given the resources to push their skills further than they could otherwise, as should be the goal of every professional athlete. As this billion-dollar industry grows, so does the athleticism and skill of its athletes, and more importantly, its identity as a real sport. If you're still not convinced, the International Esports Federation is a collection of 61 countries from around the globe that recognize esports as true sport. In 2016, the IESF sent their official letter of request for recognition to the International Olympic Committee. BBC reported that for the Continental Olympic event, the 2022 Asian Games, it will feature a medal event for competitive video gaming, and for the International 2024 Olympics, IESF and Paris's organizers are working with the International Olympic Committee to bring esports into the international event as a demonstration sport. It likely won't be long before esports has its own medal event at the international Olympic level. But for now, there are already dozens of international leagues and tournaments from a wide variety of different games that can be enjoyed in the meantime.